Shalom, shalom. Before I begin, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings on all you brethren teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. To the 144,000, the house of David, shalom. Mr. Brother Damar Gabar here from GMS Los Angeles with another lesson. Lord willing to give you warning from Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and to edify and feed the lambs and sheep of Yahweh Shai. And this is from an article on Zero Hedge. It says Biden signs death warrant for U.S. dollar. All right. And ultimately what that boils down to in the grand scheme of thing is the MOTB, the mark of the what, the CHIP, the Charagma. All right. And this beast system that will be the end all be all of this man's system. And if you want to buy and sell and you want to be a part of this man's futuristic and his beast society, this is where, this is the sacrifice you're going to have to make. And with Biden, signing this executive order, this is what it's ultimately going to lead to. All right. It's going to lead to a universal basic income. It's going to lead to, basically having a social credit score. Basically, you having to go along with the narrative and bowing down and worshiping the beast system, man. And that requires everything that comes with it. All right. You're not going to be, you're not going to have free speech. You're not going to be able to have an opinion. You're not going to be able to maneuver or wiggle around outside of this man's control. Because everything will be tracked, everything will be traced, everything will be monitored, everything that you do and say will be, immediately held against you for good purposes or negative purposes, man. All right. You will be given a certain amount of money each month. You will be given a certain amount of energy that you can consume, and if you buck up, you say anything against the government, anything that is against this system, you will be penalized in real time, man. And it's ultimately just a beast system, and it's all going to start through this new financial system that these devils already have, in place. They're just waiting for the right moment and the right, instance to implement it. All right. So let's read some of this article, man. It says, and this is what Great Millstone, we've been warning you about all these years, man. This, this whole executive order, the end game of it is the Charagma, is the mark of the what. Now, when they first implemented, when they first put this bill into place, now they may not come right out and tell you, look, you got to take this device and implant it into your head or in your forehead, and this is how you're going to buy or sell. They're gonna slowly, gradually work you into it. They're going to start probably first by giving everybody, credit cards and, debit cards from the government to where, you'll have what you'll have your daily, your UBI on there, your little monthly stipend of money and cash, which will be controlled, by the way, which when you get these things, you will be told what you can and cannot buy in the stores. You will be told how much gas you can buy, how much of this you can have, how much of this you can't have. It will be totally controlled. All right. And you will be a slave into this system. And they're going to ultimately put the cherry on top is when they implement the Charagma and do away with the credit systems. All right. It goes into the internet of bodies. You will be the barcode. You will be the interface. You will be the interface that's going to be used to move around and to operate within the system. It says on March 9th, 2022, President Biden quietly signed Executive Order 14067. This is the, if you don't know what this is, Google it, look it up. It says buried inside this order is a sinister provision that could give the government the unprecedented control over your money and freedom. You see, and it's not that could, it will. All right. That's why when they sign these executive orders, it be 5,000 fucking pages, man, just pages after pages after pages. And then they'll, sneak in the crevices where, this particular provision will give the government unprecedented power over your money and your freedom. A lot of these bills and a lot of these executive orders have the Charagma, have the MOTB, craftily written within these laws so that they can have total control over you people. It's just the way that it is. This is how the devil operates. He's a crafty, clever, sinister devil, man. All right. And once it's implemented, there's no getting out of it. It says, you see, and this is what this is all about, man. And these devils are setting up this, the world stage to where, you will come to them for the want of all things. That's why you're seeing all of these, famine, all of these food processing plants going up in smoke, getting blown up. You're seeing, uh, you know, all of these, poultry being destroyed, chickens being destroyed, eggs being destroyed, all these railroad strikes, all of this sanctions being put on Russia and these different countries that are major grain producers because they're ultimately bringing you people into this new world order world where they're going to starve you out. They're going to play on your flesh. They're going to, play on your ability to eat and to drink and to have what you need to survive. They're going to hang that over your head as a means to control you, man. And how much more with the money? That's the ultimate strike because everybody has to have money. You got to buy and sell. And now that these devils are going to be in sole control over every so-called, natural resource, water, food, your ability, the energy sector, gasoline, tires, food, milk. He's taking sole control over all of these things so that when all hell breaks loose and this famine comes in, he's going to be, in the position of power. And in order for you to receive these things, you're going to have to bow down to him and worship him as a god, man. As I'm going to show you. It says, in fact, this provision sets the stage for legal government surveillance of all U.S. citizens. You see, and this is all part of this beast system as well. All right, that's why they're going to have to set up this 5G and 6G towers all over the earth, man. They're going to have AI set up so that they can surveil and watch. That's why they got the blockchain. All these things through technology to where they can monitor you and watch you and surveil you, and keep an eye on you at all times, man. And anytime that you try to wiggle outside of their control, you will be instantly penalized, man, or put in jail, or, you won't be, you'll be restricted from travel. So you might even be restricted from even buying water or even having electricity, power, or gas, man, until you bow down and get in line and show your allegiance to the devil, man. It says, and the ability to silence all dissenting voices for good. See, that's going to go into that social credit score, which, they already do this over there in China, man. That's why those Chinese people are such good slaves and they bow down and they obey the government because they're already linked into this beast system. The only thing that's missing over there for those gooks is for them to get the C-hip, which is coming. But they're totally controlled and they can be silenced at any moment. And this is what, these elites are looking to do over all, to have control like that over the whole population of the people, man. But of course, they're going to get rid of the undesirables. They're going to get rid of a huge swath of the population because they don't need they don't need 7 billion people, 8 billion people, in their new world order to bow down to this, man. They already are calculating that through the famine that's coming. Over 300 million people, 300 million lives on the earth will be lost through famine, let alone through concentration camps and beheadings and any other way, biological weapons, however else they have it set up to where they're going to, depop the people. It says, it's no wonder Fox News recently called this a deeply troubling development. Still, most Americans have never even heard of Executive Order 14067 because the majority of these people are sheeple. They're in the dark. They don't know what the hell is going on, man. All right. They're too caught up in their daily lives and in the rat race and, worried about football and the playoffs and drafts and, stuck on social media, scrolling up through these different YouTube shorts and caught up in their own wickedness and daily lives and struggles to even pay attention to what the government is doing. So a lot of these people are going to be caught off guard, especially 2/3 of our people. You see? It says, that's why today Jim Rickards, a world-renowned economist and former advisor to both the CIA and the Pentagon, had just sounded the alarm on this troubling new development. In his critical new presentation, he reveals the shocking truth about Biden's executive order, which is not Biden's executive order. It's the elites, all right? Biden is just a puppet, and they're pulling his strings, and they're just telling him what to sign, where to sign, and when he gets on TV to read the goddamn teleprompter and make it sound as if this is a good thing and it's, what's best for, the world and, what's needed to, bring back, peace and safety, which is nothing but a goddamn trap and a lie and a snare being set for you people in your souls, man. It says, and why it's a direct threat to the freedom of every single American citizen. Right, because in this new world order, you're not going to have any freedoms, man. You're not going to have the freedom of speech. You're not going to have the right to just get out of your house and travel and move around about like you do right now. You're not going to, like right now, if you want to just travel and you got the money in your bank account, you can buy a plane ticket, or if you have a passport, you can buy a ticket and you can fly the hell out of the country and go and visit these other places around the world. But guess what? In the new world order, that's not going to happen. And this new beast system, man, you ain't going nowhere, especially if you're especially if you don't have the social credit score and a good rating and enough carbon credits to get your ass on that plane and to buy a ticket and to travel. You ain't going nowhere, man. All right. You're not going to own a house. You're not going to own a car. Everything that you use to travel, it will be public transportation, or you're going to have to rent or borrow a car. You're going to have to, if you want to eat meat, you better have enough carbon credit on your monthly stipend to eat that. Otherwise, you will eat the bugs, man. As Klaus Schwab would say, you will eat the bugs. You see? So it's not going to be any freedom in this goddamn new beast system. It's going to be slavery, a digital slavery. That once you allow yourself to bow down and to worship Esau and allow him to put his name and his mark upon you, man, you're going to be trapped into that system until Yahweh Shai destroys you. It says, in fact, according to Mr. Rickers, this order could mean the end of the U.S. dollar as we know it. And that's always been the plan. They're coming out and telling you that straight up, man, that that this dollar is done. They're bringing in this new blockchain system, this digital system, to where the government will have sole control over every dime, or, have control over all the money and the currency, to where, you can only spend what they give you. You're not going to be able to side hustle or have some type of money stashed outside of these devils' surveillance, man. Every single dime and every single transaction will be monitored and tracked, man. You're not going to be able to just, buy outside of the system. It says, in fact, according to Mr. Rickers, this order could mean that, I read that. It says, we're in for a major upheaval of the U.S. dollar, he says. In fact, I predicted the third great dollar earthquake has already started. The first was Roosevelt confiscating private gold in 1934, which all these three great dollar earthquakes was orchestrated and implemented by the elites. All right. Roosevelt didn't do this on his own behalf. He didn't wake up one day and decide that he was going to do this. He was told to do this by the elites. It says the second was Nixon abandoning the gold standard in 1971. Now he's saying Biden's plan could pave the way for retiring the U.S. dollar and replacing it with this disturbing new alternative, which is the beast system, this CBDC, central bank digital currencies, man, controlled and owned a form of digital currency, which will be controlled completely by these devils, man. It says, now he says Biden could pave the way for the retiring of the U.S. dollar and replacing it with this disturbing new alternative. And this is not some far off pipe dream. This is happening right now. Executive Order 14067 already gives President Biden unprecedented power over the future of the U.S. dollar, he says. And sadly, most Americans will be completely caught off guard by it. That's why Mr. Rickers just released this new must-see presentation, which explains in detail how you can prepare for this critical event now. Which, the only preparation is through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man, and having faith and trust in the Most High and not bowing down into this system, because he's going to bring this system to every single person on the earth. All right. This is what the scriptures refer to as the hour of temptation, when this devil collapses this dollar and bring in this new beast system with this CBDC and these digital dollars and his universal basic income. He's going to bring it in through starvation and war and all these different, turmoils and perplexities on the average citizen and the people, to where you're going to be so worn out and so distraught and so broke and so hungry and so, terrorized that he's going to come with the solution. He's going to come with an order out of this chaos, and it will be this new beast system. All right. And he's going to deceive a lot of people into taking this shit. All right. And it's all going to lead up to this. You know what? Let me get this other precept first, and then I'm gonna get Revelations 13 and 16, because this is what this devil is ultimately about to do right now. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, here it comes. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 25. It says, "For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners." And here's the point. It says, "The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing, which this devil is slowly and systematically taking control over all of the uses of men, which is why he's manufacturing this famine. All right. And he knows that these are the principal things that men need for their daily lives. And this devil is taking total control over all of it by a manufactured scarcity of it. And he's gonna hold the keys to you being able to get these things. So that's why you have a lot of people prepping and trying to prepare now for when it does happen, that you can somewhat, be self-sufficient. But as the scriptures say, he's going to be like a madman. He's going to rifle houses. He's going to run up in your house and see what you have. There's been different movies like this where he ran up, when all hell broke loose, he ran up in people's houses and took the goods that they had. And he can literally deem you prepping or having any food outside of his authority to be a crime, or to be a national offense, or he can deem you a terrorist for even having food that he hasn't allowed you to have. Because why? Because it leads you to be self-sufficient. You don't need to rely on him. You don't need to go to him for food and water because you've been stocking up and preparing for the day. He's going to come and round up a lot of these preppers and a lot of people that even have these things and send the government in to come and take these things and throw you in a concentration camp, man. So he's taking control over the principal things that you need on a daily basis to sustain your life, man. And this is how he's going to trick and seduce a lot of people into bowing down to this beast system and taking the sea hip. It says, and these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil, man. Okay, and this is what this devil is doing. He's bringing complete. He's going to bring total chaos, man, and it's all going to lead to Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? And that's why he's doing what he's doing right now. That's why he's collapsing all the industries. He's bringing this, shortages of food, water. He wants these railroad strikes. He's bringing all the chaos at the at the docks and at the ports. He's putting a stranglehold on a lot of these businesses. He's buying up these businesses and then, buying them out so that they go out of business and making it seem like, they're on short demand. They can't keep up with demand of supplies. And, he's blocking all of these avenues to where food and particular things can't come in, so that he can deceive you into receiving this mark, the charagma, the sea hip, And I don't give a damn who you are, rich, poor, free, or bond. If you're in jail, you're going to have to take this. If you're somewhat a celebrity, you're going to have to take this. If you're just the average person, he's going to make it to where he's going to come down and he's going to try to cause you to take this the sea hip, man. And if you don't take it, you're going to be killed. You won't be able to buy or sell. You'll ultimately be separated from this society. You're not going to be able to just walk in the store and get food and water and your daily essentials unless you come and bow down to him and worship him as your God. And then even then, he's going to put you on this this beast system to where, you're going to be on a social credit score where he's going to control the amount of daily, how much water you can drink, how many nuts you can bust, if you can have children, if you can travel. A total slave system, man. And it's all being implemented through, through devilish and wicked means, man. And this has been the plans of these elites for centuries. And now they're at the point now to where, hey, they're about to come down with it. What, December 13th? This is when this executive order could come into play and your dollars will no more be useful. If you have gold and silver, you'll be able to, wiggle around for a while. But eventually, all roads are going to lead to the charagma, okay? It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which is that sea hip, man. All right, this is how you're gonna have to get down with this system and receive this thing inside of your body. You're gonna have to be implanted with this mark of the beast, man. Which, as we know, if you take it, what your judgment is gonna be. Let me see. Let me see. This is Revelation 14 and 8. It says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. You see? And this is what this devil is going to do. And he's going to deceive a lot of people into doing it, man. But, those of us who are of the household of faith, and Lord willing, we're part of the elect, we're going to deny, man, all the way until Yahweh Shai returns, man. All right, the Lord. That's why our faith is in the Lord, so that He can deliver us and protect us and guide us out of that hour of temptation, and give us the spirit to resist it even unto death, if that's in our cards and that's in our story to do. But we know that with that executive order that's being passed, this is one major step in how he's about to implement this mark of the beast and bring Revelations 13 and 16 to pass, man. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Call hello Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. To the next one, Shalom.